What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Tao of Truth. I'm going to tell you what, I am jacked up today. Let's go. I am jacked up today. You know why? Because I just made a song in like an hour. And context, like I started taking singing lessons like four-ish months ago, I'd say. And been slightly improving each time, sometimes digressing, if that's the word. But anyway, I did this talent show I was talked into by my music teacher last weekend. There were 300 people there. I've never spoken to an audience that big before, let alone sang a song that I came up with. And guys, it was the best, it was just like I knew it was the thing that was going to propel me to the next level, right? Because, the things we're scared of doing, those are what launch us into who we're meant to be. I realized a long time ago, back when I was like 19-ish years old, that I couldn't give a speech in front of my class without like passing out, right? So I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be heard. I took a theater class. In that theater class, I was like doing improv. But I would have so much anxiety, I didn't even remember I was doing it. So, COVID eventually took over during that, and the class went online. It became a voiceover class. And as soon as it became a voiceover class, I was crushing it. I was freaking crushing it. And so I realized, my fear isn't being heard, it's being seen. So what does that mean? It means I need to put my face out there. And so I grew on TikTok. What happened on TikTok grows to 600 whatever thousand followers. All right. So that happens. I'm like, what's the next stage? I've talked about all this stuff online. Got to go in person. Let's do a retreat. First retreat. I was planning the whole thing out. We had the whole itinerary. All these expectations. I was nervous for it. Of course, a monsoon happens in El Salvador, so our whole itinerary gets jacked up and we have to freestyle it, which made me relax and surrender. And what happened? It ended up being the best retreat ever. And then the next one was even better. Just went in with that same mindset. And so I knew the next stage for me after speaking in person was, wow, it's going to be to sing in person, because I'm exposing my soul and who I am, and people can reject that and judge that and all these things. And I did this performance last week, and it was like, dude, that was so freeing. And since doing that, I've just had this new energy and motivation to create more. And so literally an hour ago, I just created a song in legit an hour. Wrote all these songs, got the beat, and it turned out fire. And it's making me realize one thing, which is what the main focus of this episode is. Clarity comes through creation. And it's not clarity first that we need to be seeking. We have to move with faith. See, the thing I've found is God will give us this, God will give us a spark of, at least for me, like who we're meant to become, right? In a way that we embody the gifts that he's put inside of us. And you can get an image of that. I do, at least. I get visions. And so, I always saw myself on stage. I always saw myself like making music or expressing in some way to people. And, that's all I was getting, really. And so I always knew I wanted to do it, but there was so much resistance to doing it, right? Because all those fears that can be attached to it, the judgment, the rejection, blah, blah, blah. And I realized as I just created this song, and I released the breaks, man, like I feel so free. I feel like I can just flow into it. And guys, I feel joy. Like I feel so much joy from doing that. And energy, like I feel energized from doing that. And that's what you need to ask yourself. Like if you're doing things that drain your energy, are they really what you're meant to be doing? No. Right? We all have stress in life, of course. But when we're living out the path God has for us, a fruit of the Spirit is joy. Like we have joy that comes out of us because we're living on the path that he's created for us to live. And there's no better feeling than that. And one thing I heard at a founders event I was at last week, it was really good, was sometimes the only thing you need to do is do it one time. You just need to get a single rep, right? And I didn't realize how true that was until I did this talent show coming back the next day, and I was like, oh my Lord. I literally just had to get one rep, and I just feel like I have so much more confidence to create. And so here's my challenge for you. All right, this is going to be a shorter one. We're all artists in some way. And art, all it is a view into somebody's soul. And when you create art, all you're doing is expressing your inner world into the outer world. You're fearlessly going out and just showing, hey, this is who I am, and using the gifts that God has given you to express that. It can be music, it can be art, visual, it could be photography, it could be business, it could be strategy, it could be accounting, it could be whatever. It can literally be anything. It doesn't have to be what you think of as typical creative, because creativity can be in logic too, right? It's creative problem solving, creative solutions, creative expression. Creativity is just who we are because we're made by a creator, right? And we're children of God, which means it's inside of us. And so you have some art in you. And I want you to take some time today as you listen to this. I want you to sit down and ask yourself, what's the art I really have to give? What's the one thing that keeps coming up in my mind? It's in me. And I keep convincing myself I'm not maybe good enough for it, or I'm not able to do it, or all these like things. But you just know if you died, you would regret not doing it. What is that? Is it writing a book? Is it building the business? Is it singing a song? Is it making some video? Whatever. It could be anything. Sit and ask yourself that, because God planted a seed in you to sprout into something fruitful, not to wither away. And when you get that, my challenge to you is take that seed that you've connected to internally, and I want you to just start doing one thing. I just want you to commit to doing one thing. Don't focus on perfection. Just focus on creation from start to finish. It could be a horrible result. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you put yourself into it where you are and you express that. Right? And the beautiful thing about, even if it's not a good result, is you're just expressing the art of what it's like to be a beginner. Right? It's not even about the external result as much as it is about, hey, did you put yourself into it where you are now? So don't think about it, just flow into it. And do that today. Take that challenge into this upcoming week and try to think more like an artist. Where can you express yourself more fully in your relationships and your creations and all of it? And go make some art. Because when you do that, life starts to have a different flavor. You start to experience more joy, and you start to see things a lot more brighter than you did previously. It no longer becomes obligation. It becomes expression and flow. And that's how we're truly meant to live. So that's all I got for you guys on this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a nice little 5-star if you did. And you got any more questions or any more topics you want me to hit on, message me on Instagram. But I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.